Yeah, I'm based in Grenoble in France, practicing as a technology transfer consulting. So let me share my screen now.
Please.
Okay, so let me maximize that. Okay. Yeah, you can see my screen and you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my topic today is on the technology commercialization and transfer in a dynamic ecosystem. And I know I'm just a student as compared to other experts who have already spoken a great amount of knowledge on this topic. So to start with the technology commercialization and transfer, I know how important the concept of the ecosystem is. So let me introduce you the French innovation ecosystem. Just like any mature and the dynamic ecosystem, the French innovation ecosystem has various actors involved, which are interacting, connecting with each other in a very dynamic and a non-linear fashion. And all these actors and are the key driver behind the innovation in France is one of the driver is the government, the technology competence of these technologies developed in the research labs, universities, R&D centers, large and small and medium enterprises. The government providing the push, the technology push and pull in terms of research tax credits, providing innovation grant, SME loans, and obviously admin support for building research and innovation projects. Then there is a pull from the market, access to the very wide EU market. It has its own national brand and obviously the local, national, regional, and international competition. I would not say much about the ecosystem as I will going to explain about this now. So in the ecosystem, the drivers are the clusters, the equity funding, and the growing the world of startups. Now, having said about the innovation driver and where the actors are, let's see where the innovation stands on globally. So what are the various elements of the French innovation ecosystem is the CNRS is the French Research Institute, which ranks number 3 globally as per the Nature Index. As per the European Patent Office, France ranked 5th globally in European patent applications. Paris Startup Ecosystem ranks 13th as per the Startup Genome. And it ranks 14th among 136 economies featured in Global Entrepreneurship Index, and 16th among the 129 economies featured in Global Innovation Index. So there is a thriving activities going around various regions of France. And technology transfer consulting, where I belong, I come from one of the region of France, which is called Rhône-Alpes. Rhône-Alpes is at the border of Swiss and Italy. It is 6th GDP in Europe and 2nd in France. And located in middle of what you call the golden triangle of industrial activity between Lyon, Annecy, and Grenoble. And there are several clusters within this region, such as chemical, nanotech, plastic, software, and machining. So what we do actually is connecting dots by providing or developing strategic technology commercial collaborations, technology venture support, doing the technology scouting, and support IP management. So more focus connecting between the R&D experts, SMEs, and industry leader. So when I talk about industry leader, the industry leader could be an end user on a specific market, or it could be material or equipment manufacturer. Innovative SMEs could be technology providers, material converters, equipment users, or product manufacturers or OEMs. And high-level experts are the R&D experts of public and private research labs and technical centers. So there is a great deal of technology transfer opportunities in connecting these dots. Now we talk about technology transfer. Let's start with the beginning. So the beginning starts from the R&D. What you see here are the two figures. One is on the left side showing the various stages of the technology commercialization. And on the right side is the graph, which shows a typical graph which has been widely used in the literature and the practice, which is a typical life cycle of a startup. So the early stage, there are several stages in the startup, which is scaled as per the sales amount of sales as which evolved around with time. So the first stage is called the seed or capital early stage. Then there is early growth and the later growth, and then there is various levels of funding involved, and then it can go to the IPO and public market. Now, when we talk about the first or seed early stage, the various stages in the commercialization involve IP identification, then having a proof of concept of your IP, then developing a functional prototype, and then scaling up to pre-production and the production level. Then this is mostly characterized by a well-known technology readiness scale. So around TRL level 6, I expect that there's a functional prototype exists. So our technology transfer interest rises from anywhere above TRL 6 and 7 and above. So now that from TRL 1 to TRL 9, there are several levels of the technology commercialization stage exists in the Valley of Death. And the TRL 6 onwards, it is very close towards the having the formation of the startup company. So why the first or early stage is called the Valley of Death. Now, Valley of Death concept is widely known, and because of the various barriers to commercialization, such as lack of information, lack of skills, lack of capital, lack of understanding of local needs, high transaction costs involved, trade and policy barriers, institutional structure barriers, regulations, environmental codes, standards, and obviously the technological challenges as well. Now, because of all these barriers, it's very difficult to actually evaluate the technology, and various scales are used, none other than technology readiness scales. There's also regulatory readiness level, there is a system readiness level, and the commercial readiness level. So all these various tools can be used to characterize whether the technology can be commercialized and whether to assess how risky it is to commercialize. Now, there are various tools available, such evaluation mechanisms we can do. One of the challenges is because at this stage, the technology is neither visible nor tangible. It's difficult to identify exact contents and scope, and the economic value cannot be rightly estimated. But then what are the evaluation methods we use is a variety of methods: SWOT analysis, market opportunity analysis, business plan, strategic technical evaluation program. You use examples of assessment tools to characterize where the technology belongs, whether it's an emerging technology, was it high potential, is it niche, and where it scales on financial, technical, market, and management risks. And then various questions and various evaluations can be done, and each evaluation can be scaled, and then a global scale can be developed to get the complete overview of where the technology is and what are the risks involved. Now, the key success factors for technology commercialization is that involve key stakeholders, stakeholders both in the field of technology and commercial at very early stage. Conduct an IP audit, intellectual property audit early to identify any IP issues, for example, ownership, freedom to operate, landscaping. Secure early stage financing from grants, tax credits, etc. And most importantly, develop a stage gate process with milestone defined and according to various readiness levels. So TRL is not the only one. You can use the manufacturing readiness level as a system readiness level, integration readiness level, and regulation readiness level. So several metrics can be used. And obviously, last but not least, to network and get everyone on board. Now, going from the technology commercialization, there comes the part where you need to transfer the technology. Now, there is some confusion always in terms of how you define technology means. So technology, as per the UN definition, is systematic knowledge for the manufacture of product, for the application of process, or for rendering a service. And the transfer also has a very vague and very large definition. Transfer can be related to exchange of information, exchange of knowledge, attending conferences, or it can be related to actual transfer of products, for example, IP in terms of licensing or mergers and acquisitions. So there is a very broad definition of technology, but for sake of our commercial operation, we define the two different identification. Anything which doesn't relate, I have a monetary transfer is considered as a knowledge transfer, and the one which have some monetary exchange is considered as a technology transfer. So the ones which involve monetary transfer could be direct investment, joint venture, licensing, assignment of sale and licensing of various industrial properties, such as, as I said, there's a knowledge transfer involved as well in this case, such as exchange of diagrams, models, instructions, provision of technological knowledge necessary to acquire or install a small machinery, equipment, intermediate goods. All those provisions are part of the technology transfer. Now, there are practical challenges and opportunities as someone who will want to transfer the technology. One of the challenges is to find a suitable partner, finding demonstration possibilities, how to protect your product in the international market, for example, IPR issues, what are the local component, and what are the business development cases. Similarly, the key drivers for transfer is the product itself, the environment, the recipient, and the donor. So the recipient must have the absorptive capabilities of the recipient firm. The transfer environment and donor recipient organizations also affects the transfer of technology. Obviously, the product complexity makes a big factor, and the transfer capabilities and profit maximization strategy of the donor itself will be one of the factors in a successful technology transfer. Other than that, there are, if the transfer is on international level, then global trade policies come into picture, national government policies, foreign exchange, local adaptation of technology, availability of funding, and identification of partners, and most importantly, the trust and cross-cultural issues. Now, for the key points for the technology recipient that needs to be identified and take care about the what technology adoption capabilities it has, whether the technology able to adapt in its processes, what is the intellectual property issue, how technology can be upgraded further, what amount of manpower skill is required in order to use and maintain the technology, and what are other sourcing components and sub-assemblies are required for this purpose. So I'd like to give some practical examples. There is one Swedish company which has provided innovative solution with online detection of microorganisms. There were several management and technical issues. Well, technical issues could be solved, but management issues are almost always some kind of a surprise, where in this case, establishing a pilot project together with the partner and end user having commercial activity in focus, one of the issue for that. Site surveys, education of product hygienic aspects, as whether the technology is user-friendly, whether the non-technical users were able to use it in a wider commercial scale. So, so both the technology and management issues can hamper or could be a factor leading to success of the transfer. Another example is the German company is seeking to enter into developing market for its distillation technology through developing local supply chain. What are the key management issues where identifying suitable partner and suppliers in the developing market. Obviously, site service, training of suppliers on international code and standard. Technical issues could arise where software development, remote access to cloud configuration, availability of the raw material, and technical feasibility gaps and claims. I can give you further more examples, such as a French company developing partnership in India for motor manufacturing. IPR issues are one of the most important, as one earlier speaker has pointed out. Challenging, focusing on sourcing partner, again another challenge. Technical feasibility, that is another challenge. And finally, again, another example is of an inventor approaching to develop a patent strategy and commercialization of partners. So the management issues for the inventor is whether to decide whether it has to be going through the incubator or accelerator, what type of R&D partners it should bring in, what type of IP contractual issues it should have, what are the equity sharing versus funding pot issues, technical issues whether they should file the IP in which jurisdiction, whether USPTO, EPO, or WIPO, whether it should be a provisional patent or utility patent, or what should be the claim landscaping be. So having said that, the technology commercialization and technology transfer is a very dynamic and non-linear field, and every day there is something new comes up. So giving these examples, I would finish my brief talk. And as you see, are based in the NC Lake, which looks very serene and calm.
Good for
But there is
you.
a lot more happening below the surface.
Super. Doctor, thank you very much. I particularly like how much of the material you presented helped me to hang some of the ideas I've already heard today, to think better and a good deal more clearly about what they were. So I really look forward to seeing it again, because I think it was, again, a very valuable presentation.
Thank you very
very much.
Thank you. I learned a lot today. I'm really thankful for Professor Hanadi, and I'm very thankful for Technology Ecosystem Consulting to provide me an opportunity to share my experience.
Thank you.
So I'm going to stop the share now.
Please.